Hello, this is Sahar. I hope you enjoy listening to this podcast. It's my pleasure to interview a modern-day shaman, Kris Deva North, who's the founder of the Healing Tao and the School of Shiatsu in the United Kingdom. Kris's own journey into spirituality is a very interesting one. 2 decades after leaving the army, Kris is now a teacher and an author. He has published numerous articles and is writing a new book with Master Mantak Chia. He has also made several appearances on British television, including the famous extreme Celebrity Detox on Channel 4. In this interview, we discuss various topics ranging from gratitude, sex, meditation, and spiritual awareness in everyday life. I hope you will enjoy listening to what Kris has to say. Hello, Kris. Thank you very much for talking to us today, and I'm really grateful for your time. I know you're a very busy man.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be speaking to you again.
Now, Kris, I know that you are the head of the Healing Tao and the founder, in fact, of the School of Shiatsu in the UK. Why the Healing Tao, and what is Shiatsu?
Well, they are connected because they both deal with the energy fields and the meridians which run through every human being, in fact, every living being. And the Healing Tao is a set of practices and disciplines which an individual can do to keep themselves in good condition energetically, to keep their energy field clear, to avoid depletion and contamination. It's a way of looking after yourself so that you can live at ease in this life.
Right.
Shiatsu is something that you would do for another person. It's a hands-on healing approach. It's a way of expressing love and compassion through touch.
Right. And can anyone do that? If I'm a businessman, if I'm a mother, if I'm a teenager, can anyone start or practice the Healing Tao?
Anybody can. Anybody can practice. It does take a little bit of focus and concentration sometimes. It's particularly useful if you are living a stressful life, whether bringing up children or working in a business environment. You can take time out. The practices teach you how to take time out without taking time out. You can go into an inner space and do a little bit of meditation or the inner smile or the healing sound or something like that, and help to harmonize yourself within. And that generally works pretty well, whoever you are, whatever age, and whatever environment you're in.
Right. Now, you mentioned in your article in PS Magazine, Psychic and Spirit Magazine, Taoist Teaching, Taoist Practice, Taoist Life, that you practice gratitude in simple ways while you're waiting for the bus or walking. Can you tell us a little bit what is the practice of gratitude and how can we integrate any sort of spiritual practice into our daily lives?
The practice of gratitude is simply a way of thinking about things, to be appreciative of everything that life gives you. In the Taoist cosmology, at the beginning of your life, at the moment of conception, you are given a contract with heaven. Everything that happens to you is a gift from heaven. And if you can be grateful for that gift, then your life will be harmonious. Now, whatever happens to you in your life, you can look at in one of several different ways. If you're in a traffic jam, for example, you can get very upset and frustrated. Or you can listen to your iPod, or you can call your friends, or you can look out of the window and think pleasant thoughts. So it is how you respond to a situation that decides whether the situation is going to be stressful or otherwise. But if you look at everything as being a gift from heaven, then surely this must be a cause for gratitude.
That's really a lovely thought. So it is a question of perspective, which heightens your awareness, is what you're saying.
I am.
So that things can go more smoothly if you work with the universe, so to speak, as opposed to against it. Is that right?
I would certainly say so.
One of the things that I was intrigued by is that you mentioned while in the article, in the same article, that while you're waiting for the bus, for example, you practice Taoist reverse breathing. Now that sounds interesting. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I can tell you what I can tell you. It's a concept that is extremely easy to understand and virtually impossible to explain.
Okay, let's try.
When you're doing it,
yes,
it seems easy. When you're trying to explain it, It seems difficult.
Okay.
Reverse breathing is the reverse of natural breathing.
Right.
It is an exercise to generate power and to bring power into your energy field so that you can recycle it and project it out, whether it's for healing, martial arts, or love.
So to charge your own batteries, as it were?
Absolutely, to charge your own batteries. You're breathing the energy of the earth and take it right in, and you can pack it into your organs, into your spine, into your energy field.
So you can actually store the energy and use it whenever you need to?
That's exactly what you can do. We always spend probably a little bit more energy every day than we take in terms of food and drink and wholesome things and impressions. So this is a way of depleting yourself a little bit more slowly.
Is that why we age, Kris?
Yes, we do, because when we're conceived, we have a finite amount, a ration of energy, which is to last us all our life. And it runs out, and we die. And this is a perfectly natural thing to do, because everybody does it.
Right. But what you're saying is through the Tao practices, the Healing Tao practices, one could pack in more energy and perhaps live longer and better.
You can deplete your energy more slowly and therefore live a longer and healthier life.
Now, how can you do that by having simple things around, like trees and grass? And I read a lot in the Taoist book that there's a lot of practices where you actually link or use the elements, the natural elements that exist around us.
This is so, but we also live in society, and if you happen to be living in a busy, bustling city without too many trees or too much grass around you, then you have to perhaps replace those things with mental images.
Ah, that's interesting.
And so you can take in the energy of those images in your mind in almost the same way, not quite perhaps, but almost the same way as if you're actually standing on the grass amid the trees.
Oh, that's interesting. So through visualization, you could still tap into the same energies.
Exactly.
Now, let's talk about sex. How is sex related, or how is sex a spiritual practice?
How is sex a spiritual practice? What a very good question. Well, sex is actually the most powerful energy that the human being can generate. You understand this. When a man ejaculates, he produces enough semen to populate a whole continent. The woman is born with enough eggs to have between 400 and 700 children. This is nature's overflow.
Fact of life,
to make sure that we stay top of the food chain. But you understand that sex itself is extremely messy and uncomfortable business, so they have to have a reason to do it, which is called lust or desire or love or passion or whatever. If you can access that state of lust, passion, love, desire, then you go into a different space. Anybody who's had an orgasm knows that they feel good, fantastic, and very, very close to not wanting anything, a kind of place of spiritual intensity and relaxation. In fact, the Dalai Lama says that one of the few times that man is actually in the moment is at the moment of death and at the moment of sexual climax.
How is that? That's amazing.
Because when you are at the moment of sexual climax, you are there. You are in that moment, and it is only in that moment you can access the divine. Because the rest of the time we're busy living our lives, aren't we? We're looking forward to what's ahead, and we're remembering what's behind. And there has to be a moment when you can focus on yourself and whatever you perceive the divine to be.
Is that the same as being in the now?
I would say so.
So
the sexual practice is a way to get there in a very specific and very effective way.
So what you're saying, what I understand, is that it helps you to connect more with the divine in a very kind of aware way.
Yes, I'm saying that.
Right. Now, I've also seen on your website, healingtao.co.uk, that you are co-authoring a new book with Master Mantak Chia.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit what the future holds for you?
Yes, well, you see, I have a shiatsu school. I teach shiatsu. Master Chia, my teacher, knows a lot about sexual practices. We put our heads together and we decided that we can combine what he teaches with what I teach. So the book is going to be about shiatsu for lovers. It's called A Touch of Sex, Shiatsu Secrets for Love.
That sounds
fantastic. Where people can work together with the loving touch on each other, not in the clinical shiatsu kind of way, but in a way where they can induce feelings of love, arousal, and passion with a partner.
Wonderful. We wish you all the best with the book.
Thank you.
And finally, Kris, one thing that life has taught you. I know your own journey, your own spiritual journey is a long and a very interesting one. But if you were to give us a hint or a tip or one thing that life has taught you, what would that be?
The one thing that life has taught me?
Yes.
To take more care.
In general, about your health or well-being or...
Of myself and of others.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you very much for talking to us this afternoon, and I'm sure we'll be talking again in the near future.
Thank you, Sahar. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Kris.